Hey, I'm Andrew. I'm a product and automations builder, and today we're going to do a little human in the loop with Discord. What does that mean? We're going to have an automation going, and we're going to send messages to Discord so the human can interact with it in some capacity. That way an automation just doesn't run on its own from beginning to end and potentially have a negative outcome. It gives us a chance to vet the quality of the output, and in this case, what we're going to do is approve it or disapprove it so it can continue on. All right, so this is a really basic workflow that I've already built. Kind of work through what this looks like and do a rebuild here. Essentially what this does, let's enable this. This will run every second, checking against a particular channel to look for messages and then loop through them. And if they've been approved with a thumbs up, it will send them to Twitter. This is really useful just to make sure that you're not tweeting out anything that's problematic or an error is not getting tweeted out, which can definitely happen. Any number of things, you just don't like the content, whatever the case may be. And some context for why you might have this. In another video, I built this little guy, and I have a more robust version of this that takes content from an RSS feed, converts it into a tweet. So this will take, articles that are on a certain subject. So you link in a RSS feed URL here. This one's for AI agents. So we'll take in an article from whatever, some website about AI agents. It will create a summary of it, and then I'll create it in the style of a tweet, and then send it to Discord so you can see it, log it in a Google Sheet, and then tweet it. So rather than just all this stuff happening on its own, now we're going to add a step where we can intervene, basically. We already have a small measure in place to try and make sure the quality is high. This is a scoring node. This will basically look at the article and determine if it's high quality, and prevent, low quality articles from being summarized and tweeted. Just to give a quick sense of what the output would look like, this is a tweet that was generated automatically. This is a summary of this article, and it tweets it with the link. We've already walked through what this does. Let's go ahead and rebuild this. So first thing you can see here is a schedule trigger. Grab one of these, and we're going to check every second. Where did it go? Oh, for some reason flew over there. All right, so that'll kick things off, and it's just going to be constantly checking. Very caffeinated node. Next, we're going to connect to Discord, and in Discord, what we want to do is get a lot of messages, all the messages. So we have this connected to this server over here, and this test channel with some messages in here. Just pretend this is a fake tweet. So let's do, let's select our NAN automation server, and then this test channel, and then let's just quickly test it. All right, we're getting the content back, all this information that we can use. Cool. So let's give this a name. So we want to go through these one by one. Don't want to blast these all, so we're going to do a loop. And we're going to loop to a set where we are going to get the message ID, which is always tricky to find because there's so much stuff that comes back from Discord. And we'll explain why we're doing that here in a second. And we'll call this set message ID. And then we're going to do a little if statement. And we can't set this up yet because we need to trigger a reaction here. So we'll go into our Discord, add a thumbs up to pretend this is a fake tweet or whatever, any of the messages in here. The reason being is because we wouldn't be able to see this. There's no, if you go to the JSON view, there's nowhere for a reaction at the moment. At least there shouldn't be. Let me make sure I'm not lying. No reaction. And in order to set our if statement with a reaction, we need the reaction in there so we can pull in the expression. You could do this just if you know what it is, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head, so we're going to do it this way. It's also just easier this way. All right, so let's run this really quick. You can make this whatever emoji you want. If you want to react with something else, whatever, it's fine. It's your life. Do what you want. But this is one of the default ones, and it's really easy. You just click thumbs up when you hover on it. Other stuff, you might have to hit this emoji button and then go find it. We want to make this as painless as possible. So if you want to do 100, smiley face, whatever, I would recommend picking one that's there by default. Now we can set up the if node. Let's go to our loop, and you'll see down here where the reaction is. We're going to take this name field and pull that in. And what we want here is this to basically evaluate if that name field is equal to thumbs up in our instance. So we'll do a test, and it's true. It does evaluate to true because it has a thumbs up. Let's now loop this. Either way, if it's true or false, we are looping. But if it's true, we are also going to tweet. I still search by Twitter. All right, great tweet. We'll come back to that in a second. Let's add a few more reactions in here, just so we make sure this is working. Cancel that. Test it again. All right. We have 3 that return true. So we got the right count. 3 pass through. 3 have thumbs up. We're good here. So now we can continue to actually perform whatever the next step is. This could be a tweet. This could be posting to Reddit, LinkedIn, whatever other. Is Google Plus in here? Facebook. Using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I don't know if there's a TikTok node in here. I don't do that. Send an email, whatever. Could be anything. The real point is that you've now evaluated that you've approved it. That's really the crux of what this video is supposed to be about. It's just the approval process, not really where it's going after that. So what happens before and after, kind of irrelevant. This is really just all about the art of approval, a human in the loop, so that it's just not going off and doing its own thing. So the way that I've set this up is it's its own standalone thing. So you can get messages from a channel, but how the messages get into the channel can be from anything and can be going to anywhere. Like I said, email, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. In the future, we're going to explore some other ways to deal with this and maybe give some feedback, interact, make changes and things like that before actually sending off to its home platform, in this case, Twitter. Definitely a little bit more advanced, but eager to try that out. So for now, we've got a little workflow here. So you can check on your work, approve it. You could even disapprove it if you want. Do a thumbs down, and then it won't get sent. You can have that get sent to a workflow or it deletes it. I've done that too. So try this one out in your workflows and see how it makes a difference. It's definitely helped me a lot. Saved me from some bad content getting out there. Not bad, but like not quality. So thank you for joining. This was a fun one, quick one. As always, please like, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. All right. See you later.